You're listening to the Wanderlust Swingers podcast with Aussie hosts Kate and Daryl. If you're curious about exploring your sexuality or the swinging, hotwifing and non-monogamous lifestyle, you've definitely come to the right podcast. Or maybe you just love travel adventures. Either way, we share our personal, sometimes juicy, sexy stories as well as swingers club and event reviews, interviews with other sassy people, and of course our global swinging adventures. We try to bring you a look into the diverse lifestyle that the swinging and non-monogamous community has. We hope you enjoy. Now let's get into the episode. G'day guys and welcome back to Wanderlust Swingers podcast, episode 153, Fucking Our Friends and Some Erotic Poetry. So guys, what's more fun than a spontaneous fucking your friends at a plush hotel? So today's episode's all about a recent sex venture we had in Amsterdam, but as always, Daryl, cultural tidbit.
Ooh.
Ready?
For Amsterdam or for where?
For Amsterdam.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Oh, I'm excited, as always.
Drum roll, please. On average, the rent price
Are you going to overdub a drum roll there, or is it just going to be a weird silence as we wait for the drum roll?
I may or may not do a drum roll.
Okay.
We'll see.
I think maybe not now that I've mentioned it.
On average, the rental price for a window brothel in the red light district is €165.
For how long?
It didn't say, but I imagine per night.
Per night?
I would imagine per night.
No.
You think it can't be per hour.
Why
That's
not?
too much.
Why?
Seems expensive.
Marketing's not cheap.
So it's €165, which is around about 165 American dollars at the moment because we're basically one for one. Currently, Amsterdam's red light district has 288 window brothels. Now, there was a gentrification process where they used to have 369 windows and now they only have 288.
Whoa.
So €165 where I'm going to say per 3-hour block.
Wow, per 3-hour block.
I don't know actually. Do you think that's expensive, 165?
For 3 hours?
Yeah, let's say for 3
For
hours.
1 hour it is, but for all night it's ridiculously cheap. So it just, I suppose, without a time frame, it makes no fucking sense at all.
So you think it's...
Sorry, it makes no fucking sense at all.
So you think it's a scooch too expensive?
I think it's a scooch and a half too expensive.
Fair enough. I will do some more research and I'll get back to you with whether that's per hour.
Yeah, I mean, you can't half research a cultural tidbit. This is...
I can.
Yeah, you can, but it's not right.
I think it is.
You could be wrong.
It's a scooch, correct. So,
Fucking hell.
so what's new? We went out on a date with a new couple here in Utrecht. They live about 20 minutes from us. They're
We did.
30 and 40 years old, so they're 10 years different. So are we.
I know.
I know. I did the math.
But
and
you're
I kicked
you're
off my
pushing
shoes.
40 though.
I am 37 years old.
Pushing 40.
I don't know whether that's pushing 40.
I think it is.
You know what I'm never going to do?
What?
Can I tell you what I'm never going to do?
Yes.
30-something. I hate it when podcasters or people put on their like dating profiles like 30-something when
Who
they
puts
just
30-something? You can't. When you put the thing in,
No. They
you put the date of birth
write
in.
it.
It's like... What?
It's like, I think people write 30-something because they're too afraid to write, we're almost 40 or they're 39 or whatever. I think people just are afraid to write that, so they do like 30-something.
Okay. Well, on the upside to 30-something and 40-something...
Yeah. Nice spontaneous catch-up. That was nice. They texted us and they're like, hey, you guys free tomorrow? I liked that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And...
And they said that we look younger in real life, which leads me to think that's good. It's a nice compliment, but also
Our photos are shit.
photos are shit.
We know that already.
So
We've had people say to us, your photos are shit.
Your photos are shit.
Yeah, so just be better at photographing.
Hey, do you want to hear something funny?
No.
Oh, well then let's move on then.
Okay, what?
I contemplated putting my butt plug in for that date. I was like, oh, I might wear a butt plug tonight. That'd be nice and like sassy. And then I remembered that we ride bikes
Yeah.
and I haven't actually ridden a bike with my butt plug in yet. And I don't know. I'm thinking it's probably a no, but maybe
just
it's a
put
yes.
it in and take it for a ride up and down the street before you commit to a fucking 20-minute...
Hilly.
Yeah,
Well, not really hilly.
I mean,
but
it's not really... There's no hills in the Netherlands.
there's a little uppy and downy bit under the bridge.
You mean under the train tracks?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. There is a tunnel that descends by about 1.5 meters as you go under the train tracks.
You get the air.
It's
Whee!
basically a cliff.
So what do you think about wearing a butt plug and going on the bike?
Yeah, I think that it's well outside of my scope of capability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Physically.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Either.
I have to say, if your bike seat's right, it shouldn't be hurting your arsehole nor touching it.
Let's do it. I'll report back. Butt plug on a bike situation. Yeah?
I'm pretty sure it's been done before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's been done here. But it may be getting done today here.
Right now.
Right now.
As we speak.
Yeah.
Someone in the Netherlands is riding around with a butt plug and their bike.
Yeah, we probably should give the date though again because, it might not be happening the day
It's the
that
future.
somebody listens to this.
So they're really nice. What do you think about them?
They were lovely.
Yeah.
Very, very lovely. They were interesting and funny and all the right things.
She's a redhead.
She is. She is.
We've decided that there's a higher percentage of redheads in the Netherlands.
Yeah, I mean, with our total subset of just the two of us, we've made this decision.
I'll give you something. There was 3 redheads in that bar alone.
I know. This was hilarious.
Therefore,
we turn up. Kate says,
they'll be easy to spot.
they'll be easy to spot because she's a redhead. We turn up to the bar, 3 redheads.
Yeah.
In the bar.
In the bar.
And then she turns up later, which means 4.
4.
And it was only a bar of, 50 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we are right.
I think we are.
We could be.
I'm betting on us being right.
Maybe you could use this as a cultural tidbit, the next cultural tidbit
Oh
requirement.
my God. You're giving me little things. Thanks, babe. They're from the Netherlands.
They're Dutch. Yeah.
They're Dutch. They've travelled a lot, actually. They like to travel, which was really, really nice. So much so that they actually have a list on their phone of all of the places in the world that they want to travel to, and they're ticking them off their list, which is cool for me and you. I think that was a really nice little, connection between the two of us.
Mm-hmm. And for our American friends, they wanted to go Dutch on the drinks.
Yes,
which is where the term going Dutch comes from.
They do
for
want to go
those of
Dutch.
you who don't know that, which I'm figuring pretty much everyone does.
Pretty much everyone. I think it's a pretty well-known saying.
Oh, it's a well-known saying, but I'm just curious as to whether people know why it's said.
I like the fact that they're local. I like the fact that they offered a spontaneous catch-up.
Yes.
That was nice. The fact that they texted us one day and they're like, hey, guys, and it was in the evening the day before, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Do you guys want to go for drinks
Yeah,
tomorrow?
it was less than 24 hours.
And we were like, fuck yeah, we do.
Fuck yeah.
Which is kind of what we've been looking for quite some time, is like fairly local people who don't need 3 months in advance to catch up.
Well, yeah, but we're kind of those people.
Yeah, we can be, depending on where we're travelling to.
Yeah.
Soz.
Anywho.
Anyway, so
that's enough of them now. I mean, you still didn't talk about him at all.
he was, well, they're both tall.
Fuck yeah.
He was
Yeah,
he was taller than you, and she was taller than me.
She's as tall as I am.
Yeah, and then he was taller than you again.
Yeah.
So I was the 170 odd centimetre,
5'8".
I don't know what that means,
You don't need to.
shorty in the group.
Yeah. The interesting thing is I entirely fucked up the kiss on the way in, right? Because we went to greet each other and she's like, are we going to do the handshake or should we just do the kiss? And I went, okay, well, let's do the kiss.
But you forgot to do 3?
No, she's the 2 kisser. She's like, no, it's not 3 kisses here.
Isn't it 3 kisses
No,
here?
she's like, it's not.
Oh.
So now your cultural tidbit from a few episodes ago, I think, maybe shit.
Oh, no.
Which means you're giving false information to people.
It does mean. Shit.
Which is horrific.
I might have to re-research that.
Yeah.
Or research it for the first
I mean,
time.
I'm pretty sure our sponsors are going to be really upset with you. The sponsors being me
Yeah.
and you.
Yeah.
Well, more me than you.
Our friends from Melbourne are coming tomorrow. They're staying for 4 days.
They are.
Looking forward to that. Drinking and silliness and taco making.
Yes.
We've spoken about these guys on the podcast and we've interviewed them a number of times. The interesting thing is that they've gone from being called the Negronis to being called the Belays.
They were the Belays first, and they went to Negroni.
Were they?
Yep.
And then I think at one point they were like maybe wine and whiskey or something.
Yeah.
I'm just going to call them P&S because I can't with the drink things anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're coming. Looking forward to that. We also recently went to a club here in the Netherlands called Fata Morgana.
7 years we've known those fuckers for.
7 years, yeah. Almost for as long as we've been in the lifestyle for, actually.
Almost.
Yeah.
They still rejected us when we reached out to them.
I know. We'd like to mention that to them every single time we catch up.
Every time. They rejected us.
So I went to a club here called Fata Morgana.
Which I like to call Fatty Morgana because it sounds
Morgana.
better. It sounds like a character out of a Harry Potter story.
It does, actually.
Fatty Morgana.
So we're going to actually talk about that in an upcoming episode, but what I will say is that I'm still trying to get a hold of them because I really want to do a YouTube video. That is proving almost impossible. I have sent them a text on their mobile phone, I have sent them an Instagram, and I've messaged them on SDC. At this point, I don't know what else to do aside from rocking up to the club and being like, hi, can I make an appointment to please come through here and do a YouTube video? Because I think you people need to see it. So before we start talking about fucking our friends recently, I want to share some erotic poetry to get you in the mood. This is from the pussy preacher herself, Duchess Cashmere. I'm going to share this with you, Daryl. All right, guys, and welcome back. So I am sitting here in New Orleans with Duchess Cashmere, and I'm super excited. I'd like you to introduce yourself a little bit before I tell people what you're actually going to do today.
Hello, lovers. My name is Duchess Cashmere. I am the griot erotica, the pussy preacher, the female dolomite, the sexy shit talker. I'm an erotic storyteller.
Now, I've been following Duchess for a while now, and it was actually Tristan Locke who connected me to your accounts because you were in the YouTube, and then I started kind of watching your stuff and seeing what you're doing on Instagram, and I knew you were going to be here this year, and I just had to get you on here. Now, erotic poetry, how long have you been doing this for?
I've been doing erotic poetry for 3 years. I used to do stage theater, and the last one that I did was Discovered Suicide When the Rainbow Was Not Enough. And that inspired me to take my real life as a swinger and a lifestyler and create stories.
You can do this on the fly. Because last night, Mickey and Mallory were standing there, and they'd never heard you before, and I was like, can you do something for us now? So you just have this in the back of your mind?
Well, what I did last night is just I do them over and over again, and I perform at open mic nights and local poetry spots. So after you've done them over and over, so you just kind of memorize them a little bit.
Okay. How long would you say that you've been kind of coming along your sex-positive journey? How long has that been for you?
I've been in the lifestyle about 10 years. I started out as a single girl, and then my current husband, when I met him, it turns out he was interested in the lifestyle also, just didn't have partners that we could trust and build that confidence with, and so we entered the lifestyle together.
That is so, so cool.
The night before we got married, we had our first full swap.
Oh, shit. There you go. That's a story.
That's a story.
Always like, we hear from some people sometimes they're like, well, we full swapped on our honeymoon, and it was the first time we did anything, and I'm like, whoa.
We're still friends with that couple. They're here.
Oh, that is so great.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Now, before we actually, I just want to let you do your thing in a second. I just want you to do whatever you feel.
I got some ready for you.
Yeah, and I just want you to do whatever you want to do because I'm telling you guys, you're absolutely going to love this. But before we do it, how can people find you? How can they follow you? How can they hear beautiful, beautiful voice?
You can follow me on Instagram at Duchess_Cashmere, and that's Duchess. There's no T in Duchess. That's an American way that we spell it, but it's not. Yeah.
Pish posh, eh?
Pish posh. I like that. I am on Twitter at Duchess Cashmere altogether, and I do have a YouTube channel called Duchess Does the Things because I don't do interviews on my podcast. I only tell stories. Very seldom do I say no.
Now, I'm going to put all of your links anyway in the show notes, guys. But seriously, after you are about to hear what's coming, I can't. There are no words. I'm not a wordsmith. I'm going to hand it over to you because clearly you know what you're talking about. But I'm just going to let you go. Guys, I hope that you enjoy this. Duchess Cashmere, do your thing.
This is an excerpt from episode number 25. And that poem is called Nasty, Fast, and Dirty. And I wrote that as one of my MILF monologues. I'm embodying the pussy preacher there. That's what my fans call me on the coast, is the pussy preacher. And it's about being sexually free. And this poem is, I am a nasty woman. I am a nasty woman. I bend that ass over and call me mistress type of woman. Come here, sweet little pussycat, meow type of woman. I am a nasty one, a whips and chains and claws type of woman, licking, sucking, biting type of woman, spanking, pinching, choking type of woman, sexually free, unequaled, unquenched, sexually open, unashamed, sexually fluid, mask and femme, dom and sub, top and bottom. I am a nasty woman. Ropes and bondage, lashes and leashes. Fuck me, daddy. Please let me come on him for you. My whole body is your temple. Your face is my throne, and your ass is my prize. You are my victim. I am a nasty woman. Nasty, fast, and dirty. Nasty as I want to be. Thank you.
See what I'm saying? There are no words, man. It is just enthralling. I'm looking at you the whole time that you're done. I am just enthralled. It is amazing. And how many things have you written over the years?
I have currently 30 episodes. I just released Big Mama Energy.
Oh.
And one of the sex positive queens that I follow just recently had a baby. and she had this beautiful picture of her pregnant belly and naked on the beach, sunshine, and I was just inspired. And then with all that's happening in our country, the rights that women have been relinquished of, I wanted to write something to empower women. So I wrote Big Mama Energy, and it's about living your own truth, however the fuck you, whether you live it gay or bi or straight or trans, or whether you want to be submissive to your husband, that's okay, however you want to do it. Each episode is essentially going to be turned into a chapter from my book, and some of them are like top 10 lists, like the top 10 things you should do with a sex toy.
Yep.
So about 30 episodes.
It is beautiful, and I'm so glad we got to spend even just a couple of minutes sitting down with you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for everything that you do, because I'm sure you're speaking to just so many women out there that, you just said dirty and nasty, but the way you say it, it's liquid. It's not taboo. It's just smooth to me. So
I'll tell you where that comes from.
Oh, yeah.
I was in a class because I'm a student of sex. I love to take sex classes and kink classes. And the lady that was teaching, she asked us all to write down 3 words that described how we felt about our sexuality. And all of us had synonyms for nasty, fast, and dirty.
Wow.
And she was like, as girls, especially in America, we're taught that you're nasty or you're fast just because you developed faster than the boys did in your class. So I wanted to take those words back.
Right, and you've done it. I mean, again, I'm enthralled. There are no words. I'm speechless on my own podcast. It is amazing. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guys, if you're listening to that, go back and listen again for starters, and then check out the show notes, because I'm going to have all of those links, and especially that latest episode. I absolutely think you should go and listen to that as well, because, female empowerment and rights is critical at the moment, as you said, with what's happening here in the United States. So thank you so much. I'm so glad you had some time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate. I'm a big fan. I'm so geeked out right now. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye. So, guys, that was the pussy preacher herself, Duchess Cashmere. But now we're going to get into talking about fucking our friends. So we have not seen these people since 2018. And this was in Mexico City. I tried to look when we spoke about this on the podcast, but I just couldn't actually find it. I was trying to find the episode. I have absolutely no idea what episode number it was, but it was like in 2018. We saw them in Mexico City.
I'm not sure we did talk about it, actually, because I'm not sure that we...
We did, because we called him G-Spot and we called her like H-Cup or something like that.
I remember it, but I don't think we spoke. I didn't think we spoke about it.
If you can hear the screaming kids in the background, it's summer, and as Daryl mentioned earlier, everybody's outside, so that's what's happening. So I got a random text. I was at the airport in the United States, and I got a random text from them on my USA SIM, which is bloody lucky because I don't put that really in unless I'm traveling in the US. Randomly get this text message from them saying, we're coming to Amsterdam in 2 days, and we'd love to catch up if you guys had the time. And we were like, well, fucking of course we're having the time, right? Like, I was coming back. I was obviously going to be jet lagged, but we were like, whatever, we're doing it. We're definitely catching up with these people because they're sexy, they're fun. We haven't seen them since 2018, so let's do it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think maybe we'd even forgotten how sexy and fun they were. Because we hadn't seen them for a while.
Yeah, I had definitely forgotten how sexy and fun they were.
I was going to say you, but I didn't want to because, the last comment might roll people, and if I keep saying you. So
we went to pre-drinks before we headed out. So we decided we were going to go to pre-drinks together to kind of catch up before dinner. And so we ended up getting a hotel room at their hotel that they were staying at. So it was nice and convenient and easy. And we go for some pre-drinks. And yeah, you're right. Like by the end of the night, I truly had forgotten how awesome they are. And it kind of made me miss them, I guess. Like if you're away from people, you kind of forget like how awesome they truly are. And that's shit from like 2018 to 2022.
Yeah. Thanks fucking COVID and everything else.
Yeah. Which was a bit shit. So we went for some pre-drinks and had a chance to catch up, but the pre-drinks were all just us catching up, what's been happening in the last 4 years. The last time we saw them, we were living in Singapore, and then since then we've been living in Croatia, and now we live in the Netherlands. So we're just kind of catching up with what each other's been doing in our lives kind of since then. So that was nice kind of pre-catch up.
Well, I mean, it was a nice catch-up. It was just nice to chat with people and understand what they've been doing, and remember that we're actually very aligned in terms of how we look at life, and we're actually, even though we haven't spoken to them in quite some time, that they're actually quite good friends of ours.
Yeah, they're awesome. And then we head to dinner. Now, normally when you think about the way that a date would normally progress, like some drinks, going to dinner, before play and everything, like the date would normally, start to progress where you can start to flirt and all of those sorts of things. Now, we went to dinner with them and other people, so we didn't have the opportunity to flirt with them over dinner, but again, it was just really nice to kind of catch up and kind of get a little bit, I guess, just interested in each other again. But unfortunately, like normally you would, try to flirt a little bit over dinner, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you didn't take the opportunity to give him a kiss while we went to the bathroom at the same time, not together, but at the same time, no?
We didn't go to the bathroom at the same time.
Well, we did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you and her got up at the same time and went to the bathroom.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So we head back to the hotel and have one more drink before we head into our room. Now, the interesting thing about again, like on a normal date, there would be some sort of transition into a little bit more flirty, a little bit more touchy and everything, which we did a little bit of that at the drinks before we kind of went back to our bedroom. But we're on a bit of crunch time here too, like in terms of the time that we had to hang out and catch up, because we had to leave first thing in the morning. They were off to Italy or somewhere like that, so there just wasn't an enormous amount of time. So the timeline was quite collapsed, I guess. So we go back to our room. I head into the bathroom to freshen up. And again, rather than walking out in lingerie or walking back out in my outfit or whatever, I decided to walk out nude.
You did. And nobody was upset with that. There wasn't a person in the room who was like, oh man, that's terrible. Stop doing that. Get back in there and put some lingerie on, you weirdo.
So a lot of people ask how to do a transition.
That's certainly a way.
It's a way.
It's definitely a way.
It's a way.
It's not necessarily the way most people feel comfortable with, but I mean, you certainly, you rolled it. Mm-hmm. You rolled the dice, babe, and bang on.
Did you expect that from me?
Not at
like,
all.
What did you?
Fuck no. Seriously. So out of character. That is not a way that Kate would normally return to a room.
Mm.
Yeah, not even remotely. I was expecting you to come back with your original clothing on. I wasn't even expecting you to dress down.
Yeah, well, I actually went in there to freshen up, so I just thought, what's the point? I'll just come back out.
What's freshen up mean?
That was me making sure that, my vulva wasn't surrounded by any kind of BO, that my breath was fresh. I brushed my teeth. I put mouthwash in.
Mouthwash?
Gave myself the old wipey. Yeah, of course. The freshen up is, if someone's got to go down on you, freshen the fuck up. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's not like we didn't run a marathon before arriving back to the room.
Doesn't matter.
Saying.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
We're at drinks and then dinner. Maybe that was like a 3-hour period. Freshen up.
I don't think it's a necessity. I really don't.
Yeah, well, obviously we can agree to disagree on that.
Yeah. I mean, look, there were 2 other people in the room who didn't think it was a necessity either.
That's not true. So when I came out and kissed him, he was like, ooh.
Yeah, but he said, ooh, no, interesting surprise, but he wasn't like, oh, fuck, I better go brush my teeth.
He said, can I borrow your toothpaste?
What?
Yeah, you missed that whole thing because you were kissing her. And I was like, absolutely you can. So he went in and he was freshening up too. So she also freshened up.
So what you're saying here is the only person in the room who didn't fucking freshen up was me.
You're the feral.
Lucky I always scrub my balls.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think I get really paranoid. I mean, I obviously realised that we showered directly before we went to dinner. And so there's only like, I don't know, what was it, like 2 or 3 hours between showering and coming back and freshening up. But I don't know, I just get a bit paranoid, especially about, you've been drinking and stuff like that. I get paranoid about that and just, I don't know. The feeling of needing to freshen up is real. I got asked for a kiss the other day on the couch here and I was like, but wine breath. And the person was like, it doesn't matter. We both have wine breath. But yeah, I don't know. I've just been getting super paranoid about it lately. So I'm all about the freshening up. So after I walked out nude, it started with, I think I was going to go to kiss him. And then I think...
You did kiss him, definitely. And then
after.
She kind of put, no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a short run before she pushed him out of the way.
Yeah, and then her and I were kissing for quite a while and just kind of, again, getting a little bit familiar. And then she was like, wait a second, Kate's naked, I'm not naked. Yeah, so that's when she went and freshened up.
I don't remember any of this.
And then it was just the 3 of us, so you and him and I was...
Freshening up, fucking hell. Here I am with my saggy old fucking sweat nuts.
Yeah, it was pretty gross, actually.
Fuck off. Oh, shit. Now I wish I had to brush my teeth.
I hope...
That day. No.
So it was nice, I guess. The start was just basically off to the races. So I kissed her, she went away.
Fuck, they're sexy.
I was kissing him, and then she came back, and that was when he was like, okay, I'm going to break away. And then it was the three of us. So it was you and her and I.
So I think just, let's talk honestly now. For those of you out there who think I did a bad thing, just remember that I was the only one involved in all facets of this while everyone else is off freshening up. I'm like, enjoying the races. You said you're off to the races.
What are you trying to say here? How are you trying to make yourself feel better again?
Well, I mean, I'm not, because I still don't get it. But I'm okay. If everyone wants to get their fresh on, I mean, next time I'll bring a fucking Mentos so I can just chew that bad boy down, rub it around the back of my balls and, I don't know, arsehole. I mean, what do you do as a guy to what's a guy freshen up look like?
Same thing, like go into the bathroom, like a nice hot towel or something like that.
Hot towel?
Freshen up.
Hot towel? You try to use a hot towel later as well. You love a hot towel, don't you? Fucking love a hot towel.
I did, but let's come back to the hot towel scenario. She now walks out naked, and so then we're all kind of, her, I, and you are involved.
We're all naked at this point.
He walks out, and this is when basically play just kind of gets down to it. Now, you partner off with her, I partner off with him, and he starts going down on me for quite a while, and he's using his fingers and his mouth, and it was delightful. And again,
actually, you missed a whole bit here because initially we all started on one person.
Oh, we did two start on her, didn't we?
Did.
Take it away, Daryl. Explain to me what happened.
Yeah. So I think there was two people upstairs and one person downstairs. I was the lucky person to be on the downstairs part of this.
On the downstairs?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
You were looking at pussy.
Yeah, I was doing that.
You were on the downstairs?
Some people don't like the word pussy.
You were going
nobody's
downtown.
Nobody's offended by the term downstairs. So I was down in the...
Downtown, where you lick some pussy, go downtown.
Well,
no?
That was... I mean, no.
Okay. Carry on.
Anyway, so I was down there with my tongue in her pussy. Is that better?
Yeah,
no?
that's all right.
That's okay?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know where the limits are here. Anyway, so I was really enjoying myself, and I also had some fingers inside of her, and you pair were both... That's
right. She absolutely loves her nipples being sucked and licked and her neck and stuff.
And neck and ears.
Which, by the way, I fucking remembered.
Yes, you did.
From 2018. From the last time we played with them, I was like, I remember that she really enjoys this.
She did. And she loved it.
Put that in my little... This is why I can't remember anything in real life anymore. I don't know my tax file number, but remembering that she likes nipple play, it's back there.
Yeah, so it was really quite amazing. I'm pretty sure I got her off. Or we got her off. Sorry, it's a we. That was a team effort.
I was going to say.
It was definitely a team effort.
Him and I were also... We were upstairs.
Oh, fuck off. Now I feel like a fucking 12-year-old.
So you fucking should.
Oh, goddamn. Anyway, so it was amazing. Really amazing. I mean...
it was a good start.
Vocal and sexy and writhing and all the things. And you guys were taking turns kissing her, playing with her nipples and her neck and her ears. And I was
all the erogenous zones.
And I was absolutely enjoying myself deep in her pussy whilst looking up and seeing what's going on above.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a good start to the day. And then so we partnered off for a little while, and this is when he started going down on me. He was downstairs.
She started going down on me.
Was she downstairs?
Yeah. Fuck off.
Was she downstairs?
She was in my unfreshened
up
area.
Region. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is absolutely fantastic. He's the kind of person that goes down on you that doesn't just start going 100 miles an hour on your clit, doesn't just start trying to poke his tongue inside.
He knows his shit.
He knows what he's doing. So he was downstairs. Down there.
That's just down there is just as bad.
He was looking at my pussy and had his fingers inside me, and again didn't try to do like 3 fingers straight away. Everything that he did, he absolutely knows what he is doing because he obviously pays attention to what people like.
Yes.
And kind of, I mean, we say everybody's different. They are, but I think that there's a foundation block that is always very similar.
Foundation stone,
block.
One might call it.
I like Lego.
Well, then it's a foundation plate.
Yeah, that thing.
Because it's a plate that you put the blocks on.
Yeah. And if you're building a downstairs...
We've used so many trademarked words in this where, I mean, people are going to be up our asses for sure.
It was a choose your own venture.
Thing.
He made me come.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he made me come with that, which was quite a nice start
and
to
I might add,
evening.
on the other side of the bed, I was receiving a pretty awesome blowjob, which almost had me come as well. And then it got even better for me.
Yes, it did. Tell me about that.
So, one person got thrown out of this, and I had a two-lady blowjob going on for quite some time.
I went down on him as well.
Yeah.
So I was sucking his cock for a while as well.
I'm not saying that I'm not saying that you're
before,
a hater.
Before that, it's not like I just, it's not like I just came and then ran away. So I was sucking.
Which is normally what Kate's known for. She's just like orgasm runs.
I was sucking his cock for quite a while as well, and then I came over to join you two, and we gave you
I think you're invited over, in fact.
Double blowjob. Was I invited over?
You were invited over. I distinctly remember that. There was a, hey, you, come here. And then there was a conversation had and a quick kiss between the two ladies, and then
I was feeding your cock into her mouth.
Yes, exactly.
And he was enjoying it because he also wanted to capture some video footage for their own personal pleasure.
Yeah.
So he asked and said, "Hey, can I film some of this?" And we're like, "Go ahead." And
I'm like, is that my like pleasure voice now? I
don't know what you were doing.
It's unfortunate that now has become. People are hearing this and thinking that's what I sound like when I'm being pleasured.
It might be.
It sounded like I was jumping off a bridge.
Mm-hmm. Try not to do that. So I was feeding your cock into her mouth.
Yes.
And then we were kissing at the top, and then like both of us were sliding down your shaft.
Yep.
If you haven't experienced a double blowjob, actually maybe people haven't, how would you describe it to another man out there listening what a double blowjob feels like, or even the actions, or what we did? Like, how would you explain that?
So I think it's, I don't necessarily think it's something that would get people off a lot, because there's a lot of pauses and, other things going on in there, but it's a real interesting dynamic between two different ladies who give blowjobs in different ways as well, right?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so you were generally pretty soft, and you're not as much hand involved as what she is, and she was really, sucking hard and using a lot of hand. So the dynamic between that is really intense. Additionally, outside of that is that you're not going. It's unlikely for me anyway to come while that's happening. So with that in mind, it gets you quite close. I wouldn't say it's edging, but it's sort of definitely. Yeah, nice use of words there, Daryl. It's really sexy in that you're receiving two things at the same time, and you also get to look down and see the two ladies kissing and sliding their tongues up and down your cock at the same time. It's really it's very sexy. It's visually and physically sexy. So it's lovely. It's really nice.
Yeah.
The triple blowjob, which I've also had, is less so, I think, because there's a lot more logistics involved in that, and then you get heads bumping and stuff going on. But the double, it's definitely one of my favourites, and also seeing two very gorgeous women doing this is really hot.
Logistically, again, if you haven't experienced a double blowjob, let me logistically talk to you about it. So I mentioned before that I was
logistics
on the downtown.
Downstairs, babe.
Damn it. Logistics on the downstairs. I was feeding his cock into her mouth, right? That was happening on occasion. You can do that. I mean, we can take turns where I'll make sure I'm holding Daryl's cock in one hand and I've got her head in my other, and I'm literally feeding his cock to her. That can happen. Mm-hmm. And then I'll go down on him, I'll swap it and I'll put it in my mouth, kind of thing. You can do it that way. And then the other thing that you can do is a lady either side, and both women with their mouths open and their tongues out slide down the shaft together and back up together. So there's this like movement together.
Yeah.
So that's the way, if you haven't experienced it before, that's kind of how it's done.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of how it's done, because there's a lot of interplay between visuals and physical and sound. I mean, there's slurping and all other things going on as well, and popping of mouths, and so there's a lot more going on than just what you've described logistically. Because
some people might think it's just the feeding of the cock backwards and forwards, and it's not.
I mean, no. So I agreed.
Downstairs. So I don't remember what happened between that and the next part. So eventually she was going to sit on his face, and she invited me to come and ride his cock. So again, you had both of the ladies focusing on you for a while there while he was doing a little bit of filming and watching, and then the roles were flipped. And again, I don't remember how this happened, but she invited me over to sit on his cock. So he was lying there. She is...
To which we found out is one of his favourite locations to be, and I really can't blame him. It's an amazing location to be, I'm sure.
So I was
watching, and it was also amazing.
So she was riding his face, but facing
away
from me, and I was riding his cock and facing to her back, basically. And I know that you can do this position, like she can turn around and face me, and that's really quite nice as well. But it is a little bit difficult to
I think there's a lot of, I think that there's an eye contact portion to this that I think he likes as well.
Okay.
You know, so he can be basically, you know, drowning in her pussy.
Right.
Not necessarily drowning, but you know what I mean? Like he's enveloped in her pussy while he's staring into her eyes while somebody else is riding his cock.
Which would be kind of cool as well if you didn't know actually who it was. Like if you had maybe more play partners, like a 6 or an 8 group people.
And you're all into each other.
And then she was already face sitting and then you didn't know who came in was on the back. I think so. It's a really sexy move, but I was trying to kiss her neck and stuff at one point and that just was not.
I have the video.
You have the video, yeah. So you were now filming.
Fucking sexy.
What I will say about this movement is that as a person on the back who's riding his cock, you know, there's a few ways that you can kind of bounce up and down on the cock, but what I was doing, talking about his face being enveloped by her pussy, I had my hands on her hips and I was moving her up and down
whilst grinding
forward, grinding her pussy on his face and using that as also leverage for my
grinding,
popping up and down on his pussy, popping my pussy up and down on his cock. So that was kind of cool. So it was kind of like I was force feeding her pussy to him in a way. So I don't know.
Yeah, it was exceedingly sexy. Like I said, still have the video. So it's something that I'm sure I'll use at some point in the future, and I cannot nor can confirm that I have already.
Yeah. So I think there's something to be said about the switch of and power dynamics within the play session here as well. Like that was a really fun.
You forgot to mention that you totally rode yourself to orgasm on his cock.
No, I absolutely came on his cock.
Yeah, it was, and you announced it. In fact, you did the man announcement. the man announcement of I'm going to come now. Which is
my downstairs is tingling and I'm going to come.
Which is such a man thing to do. But you did. You totally announced it.
Yeah. That was fun. I mean, so you were filming a little bit but then you just sit back and kind of watch for a little while?
I was filming, but I don't know whether you realise how quickly you actually got off.
Yeah, it was quite quick.
Yeah, it was pretty fast.
Don't judge me.
I'm not judging you at all. I thought it was like amazing and sexy. And then basically after that stopped, I then got to fuck her, which I was dying to do at this point.
You were fucking her, sexy. And she is you fucked me at one point too. And
that was after her.
Okay, yeah. She is actually, no, I think you fucked her, then me, and then fucked her again because...
Oh, I did. Sorry, you're
right. You
right.
finished with her. So I think that...
I finished with you as well.
No, I mean like the end of the evening finished. So she is multi-orgasmic.
Yeah. So are you at this point. That's 2.
No, I mean like just again and again and again and again is what I mean when you're fucking her. Like the session with her...
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Maybe she's just very vocal.
Maybe she's very vocal.
We should ask. Maybe next time I'm fucking her, you can whisper in her ear.
Like, tell me every time you come.
Yeah.
Like a good girl.
Yeah. I look forward to that.
So you were fucking her, then you were fucking me, then you came back to fucking her, and I want to talk about this because he and I
think it's very important also that we discuss the fact that there was a condom exchange between each of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in case people are not aware.
Yeah.
Condom exchange.
For those new players out there.
Yeah. Total switchy.
Change your condoms.
Mainly because I came with her and then...
Between play partners.
And then I needed to change it anyway because it was...
You would do that anyway regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. Without a doubt. Anyway, sorry, moving on.
So afterwards, like the play is... I go in... Actually, this is where the hot towel thing comes in. So again, like I've played with him. You fucked her. You've then fucked me. You've then fucked her. I go in the bathroom to freshen up again.
No, you actually came out mid.
You were fucking
her.
That's what I'm getting to. Yeah. So I go into the bathroom to freshen up.
Fuck it. There's a lot of freshening up that I need to get under my...
During this freshen up, I decide like, oh, okay.
It'd be really lovely to bring out a hot towel.
We're probably, wrapping up play right now. And so I heat it up with the hot water. I got a hot towel for her. And it's really lovely. If you guys haven't bought out a hot towel after sex for the ladies in your play session, do better. And no, I don't mean to throw stones. Not do better, but try it next time because it is awesome. So I bought out. So I'm more like, yeah, this is going to be awesome. Like she's really going to enjoy this little hot towel, like freshen up with her pussy while she's lying on the bed. It's going to be quite lovely for her.
Her pussy was otherwise engaged.
And I walk out with my hot towel all like surprise, I'm the best girlfriend ever. Not only have I fed my husband's cock to you tonight and like we've been swapping and doing all these amazing things, but here is a hot towel. So this is like the pièce de résistance for me.
The cherry on top.
And I walk out and you guys are fucking, and then I was like, oh.
Well, I mean, you could have just used it on me, clean because I hadn't at this point done apparently what everybody else in the room had. So you could have just given me a quick back of ball cleanup.
So I had to get rid of I did stand there for a second, and then I was like, okay, we're just going to abandon this hot towel and put it in the TV.
I was, I was going to come again, and I did.
So this is when
glorious.
he and I then kind of hung out naked on the bed, just watching you two fuck for a while. And this is what I'm saying. She's multi-orgasmic, but maybe it's more just that she's extremely vocal. Like, how would you explain that to somebody else when I say like she's multi-orgasmic or very vocal? Like you were fucking her for a while.
Yeah.
How would you?
Well, I mean, for starters, she's just reasonably vocal, I suppose, is the best way I can say it. She's constantly moaning and encouraging and, talking sexy and looking and engaging as well with her eyes. All the things that I find very stimulating because it's broader than just cock in pussy. It's there's a bit of mind play in there as well. So, and especially given I find her incredibly attractive, but not only physically but also mentally. So with that in mind, and the fact that I've now got other people watching, so you've got this sort of idea of performance as well. That's kind of plays into that. I'm not generally exhibition-y, but I think I am around people that I know and trust and care about. So it was really nice to have you guys watching, and I know that he enjoys it as well. So I know you were kind of over there sort of laying against each other, touching, not necessarily embracing, but, touching each other while I was fucking her. And yeah, it was just really nice to be able to just really fuck her while she's talking to me and looking me in the eye and saying dirty little sexy things that are possibly even quiet enough that you guys didn't hear them. So we've also got our own little, there's our own thing going on as well whilst you guys are there, which is, giving us the permission to do what we want. It was really, really hot.
I forgot to mention one part when I was sitting on his cock and she was riding his face. She was also talking dirty to him at the time.
Yeah.
Something about like, oh yeah, you like her fucking your cock.
So sexy.
I can't remember what the exact terminology was that she used, but it was something similar to that.
That's like, you like busy riding
you like that
too.
pussy, or something along those lines, and like fuck, like she's fucking your cock. And
this is why I think that the visual and vocal contact that she's engaged with whilst I'm fucking her as well, I feel like it's something that was shared there between us and him.
Yeah, probably.
And that's, I find that really sexy. It's really nice to know that somebody's really into you whilst you're doing that.
And doing something that's their partner as well. So for
absolutely.
example, if when she was talking, when you were fucking her and she's talking dirty to you, but like you said, there might have been an element of like that's for him as well. If he enjoys that, it's nice to be with people who
are willing to engage in their own
making sure that like your partner is still engaged in some level. But talking about him as well, I remember his cock from 2018.
Yeah,
I can tell you that because I remember it for two reasons.
Complimentary. He's got a complimentary cock. It's worth complimenting.
He is. He's tall. He dresses well. He is super articulate. I love his smile. I love his eyes. He's a very, very attractive guy to me, physically and mentally, as you said before. But he has a very, very sexy cock. And not only can it stand to attention, but it is also a very nice shape, nice thickness. I remember that distinctly from 2018.
Yeah, he's thicker than me, which I think you quite like. I think we're similar in length, but the girth is quite different, I think. And I think I remember that you liked that because I do remember actually we did talk about it because I remember the next day you were walking somewhat cowgirl-like because you were a little enthusiastic in 2018.
And maybe unused to, I don't know.
Yeah. So, because we weren't very long in at that point as well, right? So I think perhaps you'd over-enthused given the equipment you had available. But this time around, I mean, fuck, you were wet from the moment you walked out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
Then because I remember sticking my finger in your pussy and you were ready. You were very, very keen to get going.
Yeah. So they are absolutely fantastic. We laid on the bed for a little while after.
Quite a while, actually, and chatted.
Naked chatting.
And we miss them dearly. They're lovely people, and we need to spend more just time as well. I mean, playtime as well.
Playtime as well, yeah.
As well, but not necessarily just that.
So at 2 a.m, roughly about, they head back to their room because, again, they're flying off to Italy. You've got work. And we had to get from Amsterdam back home, the whole thing. So kind of little spontaneous little
fling, almost
little sex venture away in Amsterdam with some fucking sexy, intelligent, fantastic people. I mean,
Yes.
I can't say amazing things about these people enough.
Yep.
Amazing things about these people.
Yes.
So we are trying to catch up again. I remember at one point, I think it was actually in the post-coital nudeness. I think at one point I was like, hey, we're going to be here, here, and here in these months. And they were like, okay, we've got this on, we've got that. We might be able to meet you here in Jamaica. Okay, if we can't meet you in Jamaica, like we're going to Canada. And I was like, yeah, but if you can't meet us, then like we do have flight credits with KLM. So maybe we can just like, they've got a direct flight to Dallas. Maybe we can fly
we can meet in Iceland.
Maybe we can fly into Texas.
No, Iceland, because Iceland's in between. This is actually I know people in business who've done this in the past, right? Because it's in between the two continents. It's probably on one of the continents. Somebody will correct me, I'm sure. But you know what I mean? Like it's in between. So you're able to, maybe we should just meet in Iceland. We can sit back, enjoy the Northern Lights with each other whilst, getting a little funky.
Yeah. Looking up at the Northern Lights while someone's going downstairs would be amazing. So that was
you live and you learn, Kate.
That was a really fun play session. So I just think it's funny. Like now we're like, oh yeah, you guys are awesome. We shouldn't have let things slip, but again, for COVID, as far as we did. But now let's try to reconnect. So
yeah, I have to say what this has taught me is though, we've got friends in our lives that we don't see regularly, but still consider friends. And these guys were in that for us from the last time as well. And they've just solidly reinforced the fact that we can spend time apart and still be very interested in talking and, because we're aligned in a lot of ways, which I like.
It's also kind of nice to have that international cock and pussy.
Yeah, so fly in anytime you like.
Yeah, actually, and it is funny because we've had a few people now that are like coming through Amsterdam or coming to Amsterdam and they're like, hey. And I'm like, fuck yeah. So, yeah, that's really nice kind of having that.
Yeah, the last couple that came through, we had COVID.
We did have COVID. Actually, yeah, Swinger Diaries came through Amsterdam and we were supposed to go out to the club and we got COVID and couldn't, which was really, really shit.
Yeah, it was shit for me because you had girl flu like nobody's business.
Yeah.
You were like seriously whiny about COVID.
Yep. So, hey, guys, if you're listening to this, come back anytime.
Yeah.
Maybe stay for 2 nights. Wouldn't mind getting a breakfast in.
Maybe stay for a week.
Wouldn't mind having a breakfast in and then, having some more playtime. That would be fun.
Yes.
Some little breakfasty, brunchy moments. So new patrons. Daryl, I don't think you can do much with the Aussie names here.
Well, I'll be the judge of that.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Al.
Mm-hmm. Male or female? Do you know?
Don't know. I'm assuming male, actually.
Okay, well, let's make the assumption that Al's male. Mm-hmm. He'd be elephant.
Elephant?
Yeah.
Sorry, Al.
Or then just pant.
Sorry,
He'd
Al.
become pant.
Okay. Terry?
Terrence.
Stan?
Oh, Stan's a tough one.
I think it would be Stanley, if I'm honest. I think.
Yeah,
Stan the man.
Stan the man.
He probably gets that already.
No, it wouldn't be that.
Nah.
We'd find something else. I'm just going to assume that Stan's got red hair.
I got one for you.
What?
Knife.
What?
Stanley, knife.
Oh, got it. That's good. That would work.
That would work.
He'd be called Knife.
Maybe called Knife.
No, he'd be called Kniffy.
Kniffy.
Yep.
Jan. Or could be Yarn.
I mean, it'd be Power if it was Yarn.
And then Miracle.
Miracle. Mm-hmm. Shit. Mikey Mike.
Mikey Mike.
Yeah.
So patrons, thank you so much. That's new patrons. Al, Terry, Stan, Jan or Yarn, don't know which one it is, and Miracle. Thank you so much for joining us and being our newest patrons. Really, really appreciate the hell out of you.
Also appreciate all the rest of the patrons.
Of course. Yeah. Always appreciate all of our patrons.
Always forgetting. She's like,
I do not forget.
You just admitted before that you can't remember shit.
I put some audio up because the last episode we released was a body confidence episode. And again, that was with Catherine from Expansive Connection. She's amazing. Thank you, everybody, also for the feedback that you've given me about that. I forgot to include Daryl.
Forgot. She forgot.
So I did put up a bonus episode with Daryl talking about how he feels about my body confidence. That's on Patreon if you want to go check it out. But closing lessons learned, I got a couple of things. One, don't worry about your weight gain. I was a little bit worried about meeting our friends.
Wait a second. Closing lessons learned from
From the play session that we had.
Got it.
I was a bit worried about my weight gain because we haven't seen him since 2018.
Yeah.
So things have changed, gotten older, weight gain. I was a little bit worried about it. And
I think they've gotten thinner and hotter.
I know.
Fuck you guys.
More interesting
again,
in general.
And again.
That's true. So I was a little bit worried about that, but there has to be a moment in time where you've got to get out ahead, and I think you need to just force that sometimes. Second thing was I was a little bit nervous. Again, hadn't seen him in a while, a little bit nervous.
But also we haven't played with people in a long time either. It's been, I think I mentioned in the last podcast that I was on, which wasn't the last one apparently because somebody forgot that I even existed. The fact that, clubs are weird to me now.
Yeah.
I don't feel terribly strong
comfortable, yeah.
in them anymore. So we haven't played in a while. I don't know whether I was off my game, whether I was on my game. Thankfully, part of the way through the drinks, I got some lovely touches from her, which are just glorious for getting me immediately spontaneously hard. So
speaking about spontaneity,
yes.
I do want to say lessons learned here is that if you do have a moment to be a bit spontaneous, like this was spontaneity wins every time for me.
Yeah,
it's nice.
I remember you being like, "Come on, it's one night. It's going to be expensive and all that sort of thing."
Yeah, it was an expensive hotel. I was like, I didn't say come on about catching up with them. I was like, maybe we can just stay 2 blocks away.
And I'm like, fuck that, no. I know, I don't care. We really, the last time we were around, I really enjoyed their company. I had a memory of the fact that it was lovely. So
no regrets.
No, not a single one. I mean, I didn't regret it beforehand, and I was certainly not going to regret it after. It was fucking awesome.
My other lessons learned is to just get naked.
Yeah.
Sometimes just get naked.
Nobody was like, "Oh my God, look at how fat you are."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, they were both very complimentary.
Of course, but so I wasn't. I mean, now I'm being fucking, inadvertently painted in a bad light.
No, you're not. So yeah, that's my I guess lessons learned. I don't have anything negative or anything that could have been better to do at all, except for more time. That was the only.
Well, unfortunately, so we were going to do breakfast the next day, right? But what I realised, because we hadn't,
you had an 8:30 morning.
No, that's not what it was. I had a 10:30 meeting, which should have been able to give me breakfast time. But the problem is the train timing just didn't meet with that schedule because it's only a half-hour train ride, so we would have been fine. But the train timing didn't meet with it, so we ended up in a scenario where we had to leave much earlier than I would have anticipated. Otherwise, we could have had. I may have had to leave breakfast earlier than you, but I would have been able to make it back after a 45-minute, hour-long breakfast.
True,
but it didn't happen.
No,
which is unfortunate.
So we're just gonna have to fly back to Texas. So. Hey,
Iceland, I tell you.
Yeah, good. So coming up, we do have our next episode is going to be Q&A session with the Bed Hoppers podcast. Part 1 is going to air on their show, and then part 2 is going to air on our podcast. That's next week. So check that out. And then we are going
involved in that one?
You were.
Ah.
And then we are going to do a review of Fata Morgana, the club I mentioned earlier in the episode here, and quite frankly, the playroom that makes you wet.
Yeah.
That playroom makes you wet.
The club.
That playroom, though, especially.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a review of that club and talk to you about our night there, but talk to you about the actual club.
Did make me hard, though.
Made you hard.
Yeah.
So makes you wet, makes you hard, makes you all the good things, makes you tingle in the downstairs region. So yeah, guys, that has been episode 153, fucking our friends with some erotic poetry from Duchess Cashmere. Please do go check out the show notes to check out Duchess Cashmere. So that's all for now. We'll see you next time.
Ciao.
Bye, guys.